and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about online reading for fashion. If you want to get into the fashion industry, it's really important to read. Knowledge is power, as Francis Bacon said. Very important quote and so true. So earlier on I did a video all about the books and the magazines you should be reading, so I'll leave the link to that below. Today's video is going to be all about online reading because there's so much information out there, but it's good to be pointed in the right direction. Now, starting with blogs. Blogs are extremely important because bloggers are becoming very influential in the fashion industry. They have been for a couple of years now. So I'm just going to take you through some of the blogs. There's so many out there, but these are maybe, some that you should be knowing about and checking out. Starting with Style Bubble. For me, she's probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest in the world, fashion blogger. She's one of the first ever fashion blogs I came across. She is very knowledgeable about the fashion. That really comes through in her posts. They're all about some are about her, what she's wearing, but a lot of them, she talks about the news and collaborations, and she has great insight into the fashion industry and really picks up on things that other, magazines, books, other websites don't. So she's a really good source of information for fashion. And no one else really talks about what she talks about. So she's very unique and really would definitely check her out. My second blog would be The Native Fox. I think her photos, her images are very stunning. She's beautiful, which always helps, but the way she puts outfits together, it's very kind of innovative and inspiring, gives you great ideas for outfits and things, and her blog is very kind of minimal, it's clean, it's a lovely blog, and yeah, just a great blogger. Then you've got Disney Roller Girl, which again is a great source of original content, a bit like the Style Bubble, talks about things that you just wouldn't read elsewhere. Sartorialist, and that is Scott Schumann that has that. And he is become huge, like Susie Bubble from Style Bubble, a huge kind of superstar now within the fashion industry. He really started his blog because he wanted to create a kind of two-way dialogue between the world of fashion and its relationship to daily life. He has amazing street style images, so I would definitely check that out. Fashion Toast. Amazing outfits of the day. I love her outfits of the day, and yeah, just a good source of inspiration, I would say. The Man Repeller has a bit of everything. It's kind of quirky, fun stories. She talks about fashion news, trends, that kind of thing. Then we have the Blonde Salad, another kind of iconic fashion blogger, Chiara Ferragni. Sorry if I didn't say that right. She's like a front row fashion blogger, and yeah, she kind of knows first about all the collections and what designers are doing, so it's just a really good source of information. I also absolutely love local bloggers as well, not just have to be huge bloggers, and one of my favourites just now is called The Little Magpie, a girl called Amy Spencer, and she is Scottish like myself. I think she's also my age, so I can really relate to her, and I just love her outfits of the day. It's very kind of accessible because it's a lot of very affordable high street clothing, and I just really like the way she puts outfits together. It really makes me think, oh yeah, I wouldn't have thought of doing that. So yeah, I really like that. And also one of my favourite blogs, but I kind of call it more of a website because it's not like a single blogger, it's like a kind of collaborative, almost like an online magazine, and it's fashionista.com. So informative. But this blog also talks about designers, news, it's of the business of fashion. I've learned so much about the business side of fashion, like IPOs, all the market shares. I don't know why I'm doing this, but all that kind of complicated stuff, but very important if you want to work in the industry. It puts it in layman's terms that you understand, and yeah, it just makes it fun and interesting, and I absolutely love it. I find so many of the fashion stories on there first. It's my go-to kind of source of fashion news. And also on my blog, GladRags and NameTags, I've actually recently just kind of redid my blog, like the design of it and things. So it's all brand new, and obviously I post fashion. Like if you don't read my blog, I post fashion, beauty and career focused posts. It's all kind of like a mixture. And the career side of things is more like fashion, getting into fashion PR and things. But yeah, I post on there about fashion and beauty, so that's like the focus of it, with some career on the side. A really good way of following lots of blogs and just like for quickness and ease is going onto Blog Loving and following your blogs that way. I do it and it's just so handy. I've also got the app on my phone. So I just go onto the app and it's got all the latest posts from all the blogs I'm following, just in one big long feed, and I can just read them all. It's super easy. And I also subscribe by email to Blog Loving, so I get like an email I think every day with the latest posts from all the blogs I'm following, so that's a really easy way to do it as well. So definitely use Blog Loving and sign up and follow blogs that way. It's super easy. Moving on to YouTube. YouTube is extremely important again in fashion. I don't watch it so much for like fashion bloggers. I still have to find a good fashion blogger on YouTube. I use it more for like the likes of companies use it. So Vogue have really good videos with interviews with designers and style icons. Then you've also got British Fashion Council, which feature the runway shows from London. Mercedes-Benz Fashion Week do the same for New York. And then you have Fashion TV, which I would definitely subscribe to because they kind of cover all the fashion weeks, you know, like the big ones like London, Paris, Milan, New York, but they also do the really quirky ones like Berlin, LA, Sao Paulo, things like that. They cover them all, and they do interviews as well. So definitely subscribe to those. And it's also helps, you know, if you don't really like reading, it's good to watch a video. And then moving on to just like websites. Vogue is where I get most of my collection reviews from because they're always the first to put the pictures up. I find that Elle and other sites like a bit slow. Vogue always gets them straight up. They put a picture of every single look from each collection and they have like a review. They have like close-up photos, they have photos of the front row. Very informative. That's where I get my images from when I do my reviews on my blog. Because obviously I'm not at Fashion Week yet. Another great website is style.com. They're all about high-end fashion and the latest news, collaborations and trends. They're very kind of high up in the fashion, you know, in the way people view them. They're a very good source of information, very credible. So definitely check out them, style.com. Moving on to the business of fashion, which as the name suggests is the business of fashion. This is really about how companies are doing financially, latest campaigns, debate topics, the kind of global markets, how, you know, fashion's doing in China, how it's doing in Europe, how it's doing in America, Africa, all that. It's just really important. I know that might seem boring, but if you want to work in the fashion industry, it's important to know, and it will make you stand out. It's all about standing out, and the more you know, the more chance you have of standing out against someone who might not know that. You know what I mean? It's just all about making yourself the strongest candidate for the job and standing out in the job and doing the best job you can. And you need knowledge for that. Moving on to Women's Wear Daily, which is often called WWD, and they kind of do a bit of the business, but they also combine it with trends and styles, and they do a lot of really good articles on things like blogging and the marketing and fashion, so that's very interesting. Now we've got Fashion Monitor, which is a different kind of website. It is it's not all free, all the information on it is not free, but if you sign up to their email, which I do, that's free, and you just get kind of told about all the latest job titles and who's changed to which job. So it's just informative. It's not as if you're going to retain all this information, but it's just good to know, oh, like such and such is moving to this job, and it also makes you think, oh, you know, all the jobs out there, like all the PR jobs, all the editor jobs, journalist jobs, all that kind of thing. It just makes you think about, you know, the possibilities for yourself and who's doing them, who's moving where, and kind of the experience you need. It makes you think about that kind of thing. It also gives you information about press days, latest collections and collaborations. But as I say, only some of the information is free, so you've got to watch. It's also the same with WGSN, which is a fashion trend forecasting and analytics. A lot of that information you have to pay for, like the reports for next season's trends and things. It's very important for people who work in fashion already and take, you know, are companies or whatever, or designers, they want to know the trends, the forecasting trends and what's going to be popular. But some of the information is free, so go on there, have a wee look, and yeah. It's just good to know about these kind of things, that they exist, because people in the industry will use them. It's good if you know about them. Now, online newspapers, some of my favourites are the New York Times, of course, with Susie Menkes, which I actually think she's leaving the New York Times. She's a very influential fashion journalist. And then I also like the Huffington Post and the Telegraph, because Hilary Alexander is there. So they're my kind of go-to newspaper, online newspapers that I read the articles there. Again, just really, really informative and brings up stories that you wouldn't have heard of otherwise. Now, I do also have a couple of online tips. My first one would be doing Google searches. It's really important to do Google searches for, you know, just type in, like in the morning, if you have 5 minutes, just type in fashion into Google and then in the news bit in Google, and it'll just give you today's news stories, and just read the headlines, just so you've got it in your head, you know what's going on that day, and you can come back to it later or whatever to read the articles. But just to give yourself a heads up, you know what's going on, there you've got it. Also Twitter. I find a lot of articles on Twitter through my feed. Now, if you don't have time, I just favourite the tweet and then I'll go back to it and read it later. So, because there's a lot of like, you know, kind of, if you're following kind of influential people in the industry and specialists who know really what they're talking about, they'll post articles all the time and it's good to read them. So again, following the correct people on Twitter is very important. Anyway, I'm going to leave that video there because I don't want it to be too long. There's just so much out there on the internet that you can never name everything, but hopefully I've kind of drawn your attention to really, really good, important places to look for the information. I will link everything I'm talking about below, and I will also link the blog post to accompany this, where I go into just a little bit more detail and I talk about it a bit more with images and things, if you know, because I did a ramble through, so if you didn't catch anything, check out my post and check out my blog. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Give this video a thumbs up and I will see you in my next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.